Amboseli by morning came from George Strait's Amarillo by morning, and it ended up being stuck in my head all day. At first it was just a play on words, but the more I thought about it, the more it fit. That song has a dusty, twangy, slow-moving grit to it, like riding down a dirt road with nothing but freedom on your back. That's exactly what Amboseli felt like. We left long before the sun came up, chasing dawn on a 5-hour drive. By the time we rolled in, it was fitting. I had made it to Amboseli by morning. I had heard about Amboseli before I even stepped foot there. People said if you want to see elephants, this was the crown jewel. I'd seen only one small family group briefly upon arriving at the Masai Mara, but all I got was a couple good booty pics as they were walking away. The place where giants grazed in abundance, beneath the shadows of Mount Kilimanjaro, was here, at Amboseli National Park. I didn't want to create any expectations for this adventure, but when I finally saw the gates as the Jeep slowly rolled up, it felt like I was about to cross into another realm, the elephant version of Jurassic Park. The journey there was a lesson on its own. Jet lag had me knocked out for most of the ride, but I was shaken awake by an old Algerian man pointing out the window and grinning like a child. Giraffes were crossing the highway and we were still hours from the park. Zebras grazed along the Kenya roadsides just another 100 yards or so away. It felt like a free mini safari before the real one even began. To the locals, this is commonplace, like how seeing alligators or iguanas is to us back home in Florida. But for me, it was a great reason to wake me up. And when we finally spotted our first herd of elephants, the first thing that hit me wasn't even sight, it was sound. The sound of elephants tearing grass straight from the earth, close enough to hear the roots snap louder than their footsteps. That's how gentle and mindful the steps of these giants are. The air itself was alive with dust and wind, cyclonic tornadoes swirling across the Savannah like I'd only ever seen in Planet Earth documentaries. I tasted the grit on my tongue, and for once, I didn't mind. I went to put my bandana around my nose and mouth, and then I stopped myself. Nah, I'm gonna use all 5 senses. Even when Kilimanjaro was hiding behind the clouds, you could feel it. That mountain has its own energy, like an invisible weight pressing down on the land. Just being in its presence was humbling. Amboseli itself felt like the cowboy in the song. Rugged, handsome, dusty, and wise. A cowboy who's watched the sun rise and set over Kili more times than anyone can count and knows the plants and animals by name. Towering over Kenya and Tanzania, the mountain seems more like a Swahilian babu, spreading his ancient grandfather energy over the land. And the elephants. My God, the elephants. Watching them move, you realize nothing is by accident. Every member of the herd has a role. The babies stumble along, guarded by mothers and aunts. while the giant patriarch lingers in the back, watchful. They move with the kind of grace that makes you question if you even belong in their presence. Honestly, it made me realize this was my version of seeing dinosaurs. These creatures have been roaming the earth peacefully since long before man. If the elephants could speak, I think their lesson would be simple. Slow down and look after your family. I saw the matriarch, her presence like a mountain itself, and I thought about how once she was just a bumbling calf, learning how to walk and how to use her trunk. Strength isn't only physical, it's spiritual and it's generational. Humans could learn a lot from that. And yet, it wasn't just the giants that stole my attention. Lake Amboseli shimmered in the sun, split by a narrow dirt road where we drove straight down the middle. Hippos baked on the shore. Superb starlings, a bird I couldn't stop noticing across East Africa, flashed their iridescent blue plumage and photobombed every shot they could. Amboseli had a spirit all its own. Dusty, yes, but full of water and life. Rich, thick green grasses thrived and the elephants feasted. A lookout point with a 360-degree view of the park made me stop and breathe it all in, and even take some fun photos with the other people in my group, who felt like long-lost friends. And still, the silence of this place. Not as busy as other parks, at least not on this day. The whistling wind, the spinning dust, it made me feel small. A reoccurring theme on this trip. Humbled and in awe, I watched the young elephants stomp through mud puddles like children, and I laughed, realizing again how much we share with these animals when we bother to pay attention. Amboseli reminded me of patience. After my first safari in the Masai Mara, I had sky-high expectations. My later guides didn't match that, and at first I felt myself slipping into complaints. Will lunch be included? Will there be enough water? But then I caught myself. I was here, with elephants a few yards away. How lucky could one cowboy be? If I had to sum up Amboseli in a single teaching, it would be this. Don't be in a hurry. The animals aren't. Nature isn't. Just enjoy the ride down the dusty road. Freedom is a word we toss around a lot where I'm from, but Amboseli reminded me of its true meaning. Slowing down, not rushing the ride. Savoring the time we have on this earth. Like my old wrestling coach used to tell me, slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. Amarillo may have been George Strait's rodeo, but Amboseli was mine. A dusty, timeless arena where giants still roam. The king of country music said it best. I ain't got a dime, but what I got is mine. I ain't rich, but Lord, I'm free. Amboseli by morning. Amboseli is where I'll be.